Product management is a hot and trending career right now. If you're looking to break into product management but finding it a challenge, I'm going to show you the steps and how to land your first product management role. So whether you're looking to switch careers or start fresh, I'm going to show you how to make yourself stand out in a competitive market when looking for your first product role. And trust me, as someone who's been on this journey and transitioned into product management and is now a leader in the space, I know it is possible to pivot your career and get into product management, which can open so many doors for your future. So if you're new to this channel, I'm Tarek, a product and technology leader at one of the world's largest investment banks. My career spanned 20 years and I've seen the evolution of product management over time. Coming from a technical background, I was able to pivot into product management, and you can do that too, no matter which industry you're in or whatever role you're in, by focusing on the key skills that make a product manager successful. And in this video, we're going to go through exactly the steps you need to take to position yourself for success. The first thing you need to do before even embarking on job applications for product manager roles is to first develop your product mindset. Product management isn't just a job role, it's a mindset. It's a complete shift in the way you think and the way you deliver at work. So in the product mindset, the number one focal point is the customer. You are not delivering work for the sake of delivering work. You are delivering to really solve a problem for the customer. You can make the customer's life easier or remove a friction point in your customer's journey, but ultimately you're adding value to the customer, and doing that by augmenting the product you're working on or improving a process within your organization. All of that consists of product management. So rather than focusing on building solutions, you're focusing on the outcomes, what is going to be achieved by delivering something of value. Product managers also have the mindset that spans the entire ecosystem of the customer. So really think of it as a helicopter view of not just the organization that you're working in, but also the products and how they impact customers. So product managers really act like mini CEOs of their field. And that is why product managers go on to become successful leaders and CEOs in some organizations. So having the ability to see how everything fits together in an organization, all the contributing teams that come together to make the product what it is, but then also exact change on that product quickly and get it into the hand of the customers. So in the product mindset, we fully embrace change and we are able to make change happen quickly. We're not afraid of it. The product mindset is all about having a continuous feedback loop between the customer, the product managers, and also all of the teams in the middle who make the changes happen to the product. So the product manager's responsibility is to make that happen, to make that loop happen, and to make that loop continuously feeding in changes that will make the lives of customers better effectively. And to do that, the product mindset is small, frequent change. So rather than trying to boil the ocean and think of something really big that will need a seismic shift in your organization, it's all about taking small steps forward, making small changes and doing what you can now, not trying to focus on things that you can't attain for the next 6 months, but really focusing on delivering change, what you can do within small increments right now. So how do you listen to the customer? In the product mindset, it's all around listening to the customer through data. Data is the number one tool of a product manager. Firstly, you're looking at the data of how the customer interacts with your product, how are they using the product, but also how often they use it. But the data can also tell you where things are falling flat with a product, where some features aren't landing and they're not really doing what they intended to, but it's all data driven. So having a good handle on data is another important skill in the product mindset. So if to fix the product that you're delivering or to add value to it, sometimes it means changing how you operate internally, and the product manager is not afraid to highlight that. The product manager isn't just responsible for delivering the outcome to the customer, but if that means making big changes internally to the way things done are in the company, then it's the product manager's responsibility to advocate for that change and to bring the teams together to make that change happen. If the change is something that it requires engineering, design, marketing, sales, and it's a process between all of those, then the product manager is the person that highlights the inefficiencies and helps make that process smoother and makes the customer's life ultimately better. So now that we understand what the product mindset is, it's time to start thinking about your existing skills and start mapping them to the product mindset. So if you have your resume in front of you and you now know what the product mindset is all about, start turning your product mindset onto paper in the CV, in your resume. So effectively your resume becomes an articulation of your ability to zone in on the product and the mindset of a product manager. So it means a complete rewrite of your resume. It means focusing on the skills that make you a successful product manager. So focus on times where you've used data to drive a decision, focus on times in your CV where you've brought teams together to make a change that ultimately benefited the customer, and also show on your resume how you've made moves, small moves forward to increment some sort of delivery for the customer that you work with. So really showing that you're okay with change, you're good at bringing people together, and you're not afraid to use data to back up an opinion that may be unpopular. So before I got into product management, I was a mental health care assistant in a hospital in London, and then I moved into working on an IT service desk, answering the phones and also building computers. So moving from that space into product management meant I had to try and find the skills within those industries I worked in to make sure that it mapped. So from the mental health perspective, it gave me that empathy. So the empathy to understand the customer, to have good listening skills, to really get into their shoes and find a way of caring for the problems that we're trying to solve. So that I really drew on that from my mental health care experience. And then in the IT service desk space, it was all about technology and process and finding ways to make processes efficient. So if I'm trying to solve a problem for a customer on the other end of the line, I'm doing so by firstly getting access to the right information as quick as I can, understanding their problem quickly. Suggestions were made. I made suggestions to improve some processes on the service desk, and all of those helped me to paint a picture that I would be a good entry-level product manager with those skills. What you also want to highlight in your resume, and also the skills and experience you want to bring to an interview for a product manager role, is all around your ability to manage diverse stakeholders. So I've already talked about the fact that a product manager sits in the center of these other groups and is effectively the glue between different groups in an organization. So you have project stakeholders, you'll have design specialists, engineers, maybe marketing and sales or business facing roles, and all of them will rely on the product manager to make sure the change that they require for the customer happens. And it's the product manager's role to also highlight where the customer has a need that isn't being met and to work with these groups to make sure that need is met. So all in that space there is communication skills and your ability to lead. So you may not necessarily be a leader, but you are demonstrating leadership skills by being in a position where you're taking the initiative to drive forward some change or to just make something better for the customer. And if that's the case, you need to highlight that on your resume. Highlight areas where you've worked with different groups of people in your organization, different types of customers even, and where you've taken the initiative to proactively make a change. This will help paint a picture to people looking at your resume that you are able to bridge the gap between different types of groups within an organization, different functions, but also you are able to take it through to completion and ultimately land something that is beneficial to both the customer and the business. Whilst it's not as high on the list, but is still important, is to get used to some product management tools. Now, to be a product manager, you don't need to be an expert in Jira or Trello or any of those sort of tools that are for product managers to manage backlogs, but effectively you need to be comfortable enough that if you're asked in an interview about how you would manage a product backlog, that you have some understanding in your mind to make you feel comfortable. And I recommend that you download or use a tool, sign up to Trello or Asana. They're free tools that you can use, and effectively Trello is a board, effectively, of a Kanban style board where you can put on cards, and those cards are effectively the work that you're going to deliver. So you can try using those in your spare time and even use them on some of your personal activities. So say you're planning a vacation and you're thinking about the outcomes of your vacation, take a very product mindset to planning your vacation. So I want to ensure that I get to my destination smoothly. So some of the tasks you'll put in your product backlog, or in Trello, for example, you would put booking transfers from the airport to your hotel, or it could be making sure you've got all the right tickets, that you've got lounge access if that's going to make you feel comfortable, but breaking down all of the things that make you drive to that outcome of feeling that I've had a smooth, stress-free journey to my destination. And the outcome of your vacation may also be that you want to ensure that you get the most out of your time. So what does that mean? Translate that into some items. So your vacation may have top tourist sites that I need to know about, booking tickets in advance for some popular sightseeing trips there. But effectively what you're doing is you're taking a product approach to your own vacation and breaking it down into chunks, using a tool like Trello, which is free to use, and really getting yourself comfortable with thinking like a product manager. So this can help give you an edge in an interview where you're going into an entry-level PM role, where you're up against people who might not necessarily have gone that far. You can really showcase your edge here by showing that you use product thinking in all parts of your life. One of the big things that you'll need to do as a product manager is to start talking like a product manager as well. So you've got the product mindset, so you know how a product manager thinks, but in an interview, you're going to want to showcase that you understand the products that your own company works on right now. So if you're in an existing job, understand those products, understand what problems they solve, talk about them like a product manager would talk about them, even if your role is not a product manager role. If you are an engineer or a business analyst, or you work in marketing or sales, but you just talk about these products as if they are to the benefit of the customer, putting yourself in the customer's shoes, and then start talking about how you've been involved in impacting change for those products. And you may not have done this directly, but everyone in an organization has a role where they are either supporting the customer directly or indirectly, and you need to start turning your experience into the skills that the product manager needs, and that will really set you apart and make it really feel to the hiring managers that you are ready to hit the ground running. You understand the need. So start by listing down on a piece of paper your product portfolio. So this will be the products that you have looked after in your organization, or maybe just the products that your organization has, and start thinking of linkages between what you do, what your day job is, and those products, and start to come up with some examples of how you've been able to move those products forward, or support them, or support the customer. And you only need 3 or 4 of these examples. You don't need an exhaustive list, but it's just to demonstrate that you are able to act like a product manager, think like one, and go beyond the scope of your role. Another tip for you to start your product manager journey and break into this industry is to start networking. Now, this may seem daunting at first, but it's a crucial part of a product manager's journey, is to be part of a product management community. So there is a large product community that I like attending meetings to, and have also presented at. So there's the Product Tank, which is a global product meetup. That's a great space for you to come in, even as an entry-level product manager, or maybe someone who's just interested in wanting to know more. Attend these meetups, go into the discussions, participate if you can, and network. Try and find yourself some mentors there even. There could be an opportunity for you to learn from some people who've just joined product management, understand their stories, or some seasoned product managers may tell you what they're looking for. But it's really important to start attending these, whether you do it virtually or in person. Try to start connecting yourself with the community and start updating your LinkedIn profile online. Make sure it's very product centric, and you start showcasing these product skills and the projects you've worked on that have helped to do that as well, and start to build that sort of product presence, even if it's very early stage. It really just gives confidence to hiring managers when they're looking at your CV or resume online as well. I've been fortunate to have mentors in my career so far, mentors who've helped me move from different stages of my career, from being in deep technology to then working in the sort of digital marketing space and then into product management. And I've had people that have helped me with that transition over time. And these mentors effectively are able to help you think a little bit more forwardly about what you can do to make sure you've got the skills in place to be comfortable and confident in your role. And I want you to also see this channel as an informal mentor for you as well. This channel is all about career growth. It's all about you finding your feet, whether in product management, leadership, or just being visible in the workplace and showing your worth. And these are all attributes not only of product managers, but also just people working in the corporate world who really want to start being their best selves. So I hope this channel can guide you as a mentor as well. So now that you've got the mindset, you've got the examples and experience, and you've also got the portfolio you can talk about of the products in your career so far, the next stage is the interview. And the interview is a completely different beast to other interviews you may have encountered. The product interview, I'll probably do an entire video on how to nail the product interview, but at a high level here, you need to definitely go into a product interview prepared. You need to be able to hone these skills. There will be a scenario-based assessment where you are given the problem statement for a particular example product, and then you'll embark on a journey of firstly identifying the target customer of that product, what the pain point is, how you're going to solve it, how you're going to measure it, and how you're going to then continually feed that into a loop. So this whole mindset that we've talked about will come to life in the interview in a scenario-based question. So that's one thing you have to be extremely prepared for. And as a leader in the space now, I am also hiring not only product managers but engineers. So I've got good experience in how to hire product managers and thinking about what I'm looking for in this space. And everything I've spoken about in this video so far, those skills, is what I want to see from candidates coming forward to apply for roles in my team. So equally, I want to see how this situational assessment uses the product mindset and they're able to think on their feet about how you'll solve a problem creatively, but also measure it and really attribute some value to the outcome as well. And in your interview, it's also good to ask questions about product management in that organization. So ask about how well it's formed, what is the maturity of the sort of product operations in the company, but also where do they see their product set going in future? Are there new audiences they want to reach? Start thinking about questions you could ask in the interview that make it sound like you're already a product manager in your mind. So breaking into product management may sound daunting, but it's also something you can absolutely do. And I'm hoping the advice you've heard in this video is a jump start to get you rethinking your resume and getting a foot in a door for your first product management role. If you'd like more tips on how to succeed in product management, but also generally across your career to become more visible and move into leadership, then this channel is for you. Check out some more of my videos and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.